Welcome to Get Offset. My name is Emily, and this is kind of a hard video to make because I know I'm going to have to revisit a very, very painful moment of my life. In case you're new here, I went through something that is basically every guitarist's nightmare. I had an accident, an incident. It was, it's hard to watch. In fact, when I went to Summer NAMM, people who had seen this incident, because it's the morning that Fender announced the new Squier Paranormal Series colors, so I was already filming to kind of do a video where I run through those colors, so I just kind of hit record on my phone. I was pulling up the page on the CME website, and I had just kind of staged a few of my Paranormal Series Guitarists before 20 in the background when something terrible happened. Let's watch.
Can I hold something for you? You okay?
Let's watch again. Let's watch again and slower. Yeah, that's painful. Oh God. Yeah. I did catch the supersonic. As I watched that video, I'm most impressed that I caught the supersonic with my non-dominant hand and without looking, to which I credit boxing. I did that on an injured knee. I tore the meniscal cartilage in my knee, and I did that pivot and I did that catch, and I'm impressed by that. So let me just answer some common questions about what happened to these instruments. Are they damaged? Are they okay? Okay, the number one question I get is everything okay? The response is, haha, no. Are you serious? No, they're not okay. But they're not, broken either. I have a supersonic here, and I just gotta say, I had, literally minutes earlier swapped out some $1,000 range Fender guitars for these $400 range Squiers that did end up getting kind of damaged in the video. So let's look at the supersonic. There's some dings. That's the most visible one on the supersonic. There's another one there. Some on the back. Little bent piece there. The Cyclone's in the other corner of the room, so I'm not going to snag it. It honestly got more damage from the pedals falling on it. I tested the pedals. The pedals are fine. People were like, oh my God, the Chase Bliss shelf. And you're like, yes, oh my God, the Chase Bliss shelf. I will say, thankfully, as far as it being the Chase Bliss shelf, Chase Bliss is still an active pedal company that does repairs. So at least I had that going for me. It wasn't like some vintage company that doesn't exist anymore, that doesn't do repairs on pedals. So, worst come to worst, if my blooper busted, I know I'd be able to just ship it back to Minneapolis and their team would take care of me. At least I had that confidence. Let's talk about the reaction that I had, which is to not have a reaction. At that moment, it was very early. I had just had a band practice the night before. I hadn't gotten a lot of sleep. The band practice went late, and then you had those it was my first practice with that band, so then your brain's kind of buzzing for a few hours. I didn't fall asleep. So I was running on nothing. I was tired, and I thought, like, I knew I shouldn't have gotten out of bed that morning to make that video. And so that was just kind of my reaction. My husband heard me. I'm on the first floor. My husband heard me from all the way up on the third floor and came down, and just like his reaction of, oh shit. Oh my god, just rewatching this fight. But like from the NAMM floor, like at NAMM in Nashville, like people would just come up to me and they'd be just like, oh, and I just knew that they knew me from that video, and it made me laugh. So I just want to talk to people. I don't want to just like rehash it. I want to explain to people like exactly what happened. I'm actually not as prepared as I should be, so I'm going to get up really quickly. I will be right back because I need to get the little piece of shit that caused this accident. This is a wall hanger that I bought on Amazon that Amazon no longer carries, apparently. And it's called an auto lock hanger, and the company that made this was called Punk. And I got this because, you know, it had like this rubber end, but mostly it had these little arms. And the way that this mechanism works is when there's weight applied, these arms lock down. And if you have, these arms, you put a guitar in the hanger. And if it slides, the arms are supposed to catch it. It doesn't fall out, right? So that's how it's supposed to work, right? And that's how it usually has worked. I have walked into this office and have seen guitars just dangling, but because these arms worked, they caught the guitar and the guitar didn't fall. And I had rushed in and saved the guitar, and, you know, that was that. That was fine. The thing is, this is the one that failed. And this is the arm that stopped working. And so the arm just completely was loose. And I will take some responsibility. I knew this arm wasn't working, but I would push it in. I just kind of shove it back in there, and it would appear to be working again. And obviously it's not doing that anymore. So in my quest to save a few dollars on these units, instead of spending extra dollars on a nicer unit, I had an incident. That's what happened. That's why this broke. I got some unhelpful feedback. I got some unhelpful comments for a couple of them. So, that was just one part though, because as you saw in that video, the whole pedal shelf also fell. And I had concerns when everything fell that the actual culprit was the pedal shelf. I thought that the pedal shelf had too much weight on it and that it broke away like that. Because I knew that this had still been attached to the wall. So the way the shelf worked, you can see the holes in the back, those hooked into the wall. The way the shelf works is basically it's glued in. It's 3 pieces that are glued together. There's a weight limit that I did not think I had hit, but as it fell, I thought, did I hit that limit and just not think I did? Was it not flush enough? Because if it wouldn't be flush enough, like if it wasn't up against the wall and was kind of at an angle, this would be putting a lot more pressure against this, and this would, then the weight limit would be actually lower. That's just kind of how the mechanisms of the wood would work. So then it would, I'd be worried that this would be kind of falling apart. But I do check these pretty regularly to make sure that I'm not seeing any slow kind of lines forming there. And I have had one of these shelves start to fail because I hadn't screwed tight enough to the wall and it wasn't flush against the wall. So they did start to separate. I very quickly pulled that board down, fixed it, replaced the board. No problem. So what happened was when the guitar fell, it hit this lip. That's not going to photograph very well, but I don't think there's any... Oh, yeah. So there's actually a little bit of damage to that lip. I think you can kind of see it right there. So that's where the guitar hit it, and it just pulled the whole thing down. And that's why that fell. And actually, the reason that the Cyclone is damaged is because the guitar pedals fell. And it actually caused a lot of the damage to the guitar, the Supersonic itself, was from those falling pedals. And the Jazzmaster I have beneath those pedals, some of the damage to it is from... There's just a little nick in the headstock that I'm going to fix with some super glue. At the suggestion of some luthiers and guitar techs. So that is what happened there. But get back to the unhelpful feedback. I got this comment from a couple of people, and I know that they were trying to be kind of helpful or smart or something. More than one person said, this is why I always drill into studs and never use drywall anchors. Friends, I drilled this shit into studs. I know I'm a girl, but I'm not an idiot. I drilled into studs. I'm hanging guitars. I'm hanging Jazzmasters and Telecasters. They're not all Tunatones, okay? They're not all lightweight babies. I'm hanging pedal shelves. I'm like being careful with my possessions. They're expensive. I'm being loving with them. I have a stud finder. I stole it from my brother. He knows now, but he didn't know at the time. I used dishonesty with my family to ensure the safety of my possessions. I drilled into studs. I don't know why you would assume I drilled into drywall and used anchors. I avoid drywall anchors wherever possible. I hate using drywall anchors. I think they're messier. I think they suck. I don't trust them. I only use drywall anchors when I literally have no other choice due to, like, design aesthetic choices for, like, very minor things. And I never use drywall anchors if it's going to be something that I, like, care about. I used drywall anchors a few weeks ago for, like, a coat rack thing that I put near my front door. Because that's not, like, if that falls out, then, oh well, my coats fell. If these fall out, then, oh shit, my guitars fall. Like, I never said that, and then you watch the video, just watch the video a couple times, and you'll see that the back of the pedal shelf is obviously still on the wall. The entirety of the guitar wall hanger still on the wall. So I don't really know why anybody came to the assumption that I use drywall anchors. I will say that bugged me. And I will say, probably don't use drywall anchors. The solution that I'll say for, like, if you don't really like the positioning of the studs on your wall and you still want to hang guitars on the wall and you don't want to drill into the drywall, get like a 2x4 or something, a panel of wood, and actually like hammer or drill that into studs, and then take your nicer, higher quality. This is another one with one of those mechanisms. Nice, and then hopefully this one will last longer. I'm actually going to get into the habit of replacing this part completely every year or so if I can. I'm going to start checking the arms a lot more frequently. This was stupid. By right. Get this, like, a wooden board, hammer or drill, or just secure those into studs. It could be a cool look to go, like, the length of the wall if you can. And then secure your wall hangers into that at whatever kind of intervals make the most sense for you in the spacing. So you can kind of treat it like slat wall, but obviously not like the functionality of like the slat wall you'd have like in a garage or that you would see in a hardware store or a retail store. I think that's a pretty slick kind of use for them. I've seen other people do it. It looks pretty nice. And it kind of, because not everybody's studs are exactly where they want them to be. It doesn't always work that way. I'm sorry to say. But that gives you, I think, a little bit more security versus drywall, which can just kind of, fail. And then really sucks to fix a big, nasty patch of drywall, and you don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other tips I have for you. I don't love the shelves that I got. I do love the shelves that I got. I really do. At this point, I'm kind of worried about them and thinking about them a lot more. I really wish that I could have just gotten some sort of bent metal solution or had just gotten some sort of bent metal solution. Those are much more expensive. So I might look into making that investment sooner, rather than later. If anybody's curious, I basically use, shelves that are designed as and marketed as, shelving that is used for picture frames. So the idea is there was this trend that you would have these shelves that are wider, and you put the picture frames on the shelf instead of actually hanging the picture frames. I'm not sure why that was a trend, but God, I'm glad it was, because it is such a nice way to display a litany of things from bobbleheads to tchotchkes to Funko Pops to guitar pedals. So yeah, thank you to whatever Pinterest queen came up with that. I hats off. But shop right. Like don't make my mistake. And if you see the problem with the stupid little guitar hanger thingy, like truly don't risk it. Don't be like me. Just take the guitar out of it immediately. It ain't worth it. It's not gonna fix itself. It's not gonna be good enough. I am lucky that it was just a Squier guitar and not one of my nicer instruments. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. If anybody has a connection at Hercules hangers, I will be investing and upgrading my entire collection. So Hercules, hit me up, please. Thank you. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for understanding. Until next time, my name is Emily. Please like, comment, subscribe below. Bye!